I'm Kylie.
And I'm Blakely. Warning, we have potty mouths, and this podcast is rated R, like the books we read.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pre-warn everyone I'm coming off the flu, so I might be a little wheezy.
So I apologize if I make you laugh, Kai, because you do sound like you smoked like 7 packs of cigarettes.
I have not smoked in a very long time, and I don't plan on it. This is just the flu. It's killing me.
I know. And you don't even have, have you tried singing?
No, because I get winded.
I just want to see if you had a smelly cat voice, but whatever. Fine.
I'm not going to torture everyone this round. All right, Blake. So starting off, would you rather go to Basgiath or Hogwarts?
I'm going to say Basgiath.
Why?
No, that's it. No. Um, I don't know. Okay, I have a better survival rate if I go to Hogwarts. I love the world of Hogwarts. You're more likely to get it in Basgiath because, you're a kid at Hogwarts. I don't know. But I'm going Basgiath, and that's what I'm going with. I have no other reason, just what I'm going with. You?
Just because you'll look cooler at Basgiath?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I was a late bloomer in life, and I wasn't that cute. So, not that I'm cute now, but cuter now.
You're such a liar, Camille. Like,
I'm cuter now.
I'll give you that. Time is
Yeah.
good to you, you fine wine.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty low fucking bar in high school, so I'll take it.
I feel like, the survival rate at Hogwarts is better for me. Basgiath would make me cooler. And I
Yeah,
feel like there is hotter men there. You know what? Basgiath, I'm going to go with the hot men.
I know. See, that's what got me. It's like,
If I die, it's surrounded by sexy men. Some dark
yeah,
shadow daddies.
yeah. I mean, because Neville Longbottom didn't have his glow up until post Harry Potter, so
That's true. That's very
um,
true. But even in the book, he did not have a glow up. It was
not
just
at all.
just
Yeah,
in real life.
in real life, he did. Those veneers really helped him.
Yeah, they don't really talk about how hot people are there. They're just except for like Harry was into Cho.
I know, but it wasn't like she's so pretty or anything.
He just loved her.
He just loved her right away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely Basgiath is the way to go.
Well,
Priorities. Not our magic or anything. It's like that how hot people are.
yeah. I mean, that's the determining factor. We're just a couple of smut sluts, so what do you expect?
Solid point.
So today's agenda, Kylie, we'll be continuing Rebecca Yarros' Fourth Wing, the first book of the Empyrean series. We'll be covering chapters 16 through 20.
Chapter 16 gets into the implications of Violet's unprecedented dual bond with Tyrion and Adarna. As news of this spreads, chaos ensues among the generals. They debate the ramifications of this unique situation, questioning whether Violet will be forced to choose one dragon over the other if such a bond is even sustainable. While Violet was receiving medical attention for the injuries sustained during the threshing, asshole Jack Barlow is also receiving medical attention. He doesn't deserve it. JB bonded with a dick dragon, Bade. Jack, envious that Violet is more of a badass than he will ever be, openly challenges her. But Professor Kaori puts the kibosh on that, warning Jack of the potential consequences of provoking Taryn.
God, I hate Jack Barlow so much. I really, really hate him.
I feel like talking about him, it makes the flu worse. Like he exacerbates my illness.
Well, you don't have to talk about him that much in the next 5 chapters, so
But we still hate him, and that passion still is burning.
it's still burning in your heart. I know, you can't get rid of it.
That's why I can't regulate my temperature, because I'm just so pissed off at Jack,
Jack
Barlow.
Barlow. Fucking JB.
He just makes me so mad I sweat.
So what I found interesting or almost annoying. Okay. I do love Violet. I have to say this. I really love Violet. There are just times that she really does kind of annoy me a little bit. And this is partially one of them. Violet doesn't want to get healed by Nolan because she thinks that she's like, everybody's looking at me. They'll then know I'm too weak. Bitch, you just bonded with not one, but two dragons, and one of them is like a huge motherfucker. So why you're not gonna get healed because you're worried about what people think? Like, ugh, Violet.
I mean, she's young. You care about what people think at that age, which is stupid, but she just was a little self-conscious.
I also like that Jack and like the professor Kaori are both just so shook that Violet fucked up Jack. Like,
Because he's like, you? And Kaori's like, you? Can you imagine their faces? They're probably just, it's a shocked Pikachu face.
totally. You're like, oh, this poor little fragile weak girl.
Oh, she's actually not that weak. She severed his tendon
And
or ligament. Ligament.
ooh, I don't like either.
Well, I'm used to severing ligaments, so it's no big deal for me to talk about.
Well, then Jack is just so pissed because not only did obviously Violet sever his whatever, I don't want to say it grosses me out, but she got Terran, the one dragon that he wanted.
Sucks to suck, Jack Barlow. Don't be shitty, and you might have, got a better dragon. But I do have to say, I think that there are some well, I mean, there is bad dragons, but I won't get further into it. I just have to get this off my mind now. Um, the whole Jack, potentially being Venom because his eyes were red. I
Hmm.
think some dragons are okay with it. I do.
I I agree.
Okay,
I
cool.
definitely agree with that.
I thought you
And
might argue with it.
no,
Just
I
for the
think
sake of arguing, it's you.
I sorry. No, I don't feel like arguing that point because I agree. I think that well, especially it's coming up here with General Milgren's dragon.
And he's just the absolute worst.
Evil. I just have the vibe.
So we're just planting that seed now that I
I
think
guess we just can't help ourselves. We have to talk about it now.
it's just the ADHD. You just gotta word vomit. It becomes clear that the decision regarding Violet's bond rests solely with the dragons themselves. The Empyrean, the collective leadership of the dragons, will convene to determine the fate of this unique situation. This whole ordeal introduces more uncertainty and danger into our favorite fragile girl's life. Dramatic readings.
It'll never not be funny to me. So we also Professor Kaori just really emphasizes a point that humans are not in control.
Despite what we would like to think.
Yes, which is hard for us control freaks. But in this case, when Violet's asking, has anyone ever bonded two dragons? And he's like, you would be the first. Not sure why they're fighting about it, though. The decision won't be up to them. And she's like, it won't. Nothing about who dragons choose is up to humans. We only like to maintain the illusion that we're in control. Something tells me they've just been waiting for the others to make it back before they meet. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal that she's got two dragons. And also, humans are so dumb. We're not in control.
No. I love that during all this, he's like, stay close to the wing leader. And she's like, do you mean the squad leader?
I Jesus Christ. I mean, Violet. No, he doesn't meet the squad leader. Taryn doesn't like him. Well, I guess she doesn't know that yet, but I don't like him.
It's crazy that she would even want to go stand with Dane. I know
I
that he's her best friend, but it's like he hasn't supported you this entire time. Why would you want to stay with him? Fuck
I
that
don't
guy.
know. And then when he says that and she's like, "Oh, the squad leader?" It personally reminded me of it's giving like, "Stay close to the High Lord. He'll keep you safe," but the wrong High Lord.
Your note. After all this, Coda is evil.
He is evil
I
because in this point, Taryn and Kodak meet, you see them, and Kodak is giving him like mean mugging the fuck out of Terran. And why? Is it because he's bonded Violet? Is it because he's the second most powerful dragon? I don't know. But
I have so many thoughts on this, but I can't even talk about them till like
I know, tell you later. But I think he's evil. Thanks.
I agree. So me bringing up some dragons are bad, it matters.
It does matter.
Words are hard.
Some dragons are bad. It's like some people are bad. The end.
That's all you guys need to know. The end of this episode. This is all 12 minutes.
Such thought-provoking thoughts we got going on. Thought-provoking thoughts? Jesus, I'm not even sick. Keep moving on.
Violet meets up with their squad so dragons can chit-chat. Dane, yet again pissing us off, expresses concern about the risks associated with Terran's connection to Xaden's dragon, Sorrengail. He suggests that Violet might be safer choosing Andarna instead. However, Xaden dismisses Dane's concerns and reveals a more sinister truth. The unbonded cadets, desperate for a dragon, may attempt to kill Violet in hopes of claiming Terran for themselves. Violet is now a bigger target, not just for the marked ones, but for everyone who was unbonded. Okay. Oren's an idiot. We hate Oren.
Obviously. What a stupid name, anyways. Oren.
But it's like, Oren, no one's going to bond with you. You tried to kill a dragon. They know that. Unless there's a bad dragon, which is not Terran, that is like not on Andarna's team. And
Right.
yeah, that is the only way. But what a moron. You think you can just try and kill a dragon and then they'll bond with you? Ugh.
Yeah, no. Those dragons, they stick together. Well, unless they're evil. And Dane trying to convince Violet to choose Andarna. Like it's up to her, first off.
Right.
And his points that he brings up are one, well, she can't fly or basically can't hold a rider. So that way you'd basically be stuck here and be a professor. And then we find out really the real reason why is because Terran and Sorrengail are mated. So Dane doesn't want Violet to be close to lover boy Xaden.
It's so stupid because Professor Kaori did 4 years as well. And so she has to do this regardless. Like, she can't just teach. Fuck you, Dane.
I don't like him. Great podcast. Don't like Dane. That's all I got to say. Please.
We hate Dane.
I really don't like
It would be one thing if he supported Violet even though like the tiniest bit, but he doesn't. He just wants to get her out of there. And he thinks he's doing the right thing for her, but he's not. He's just hindering her.
And then bringing up, he's like, well, tell me everything that happened. And so Violet talks about Xaden being there, and then that does not help. So that ballsy motherfucker basically accuses Xaden of manipulating Threshing. And then who steps in? Kylie.
The sexiest man in Basgiath.
I love him so much.
Xaden, here to save the day yet again because he's always got Violet's back.
And then Xaden, is that an official accusation? Which once again, not only I know you don't like him, but that is your wing leader. And you're just like, yeah, he manipulated Threshing. He's breaking rules. Like, ugh, Dane. Fucking square.
He thinks because his dad is a colonel that he has some say over Xaden, who has a relic. And it's you're just a moron, Dane. You're a moron. That's all. The amount of times, if we had $1 for every time our note said Dane is a dick.
And then I love Xaden.
My husband could quit his job and we'd never have to work again.
And then our boy Xaden was pretty smart, and he makes Dane admit he wouldn't have helped Violet.
What a ballsy thing to do. Kind of, I mean, it is shitty for Violet, but she needed to hear that. She needed to hear that Dana's always going to choose the rules over everything else. It doesn't matter that she's his best friend. He's going to pick the rules.
Once again, like we said, it doesn't even make sense because what rules that he's willing to break, like it's breaking rules to try to smuggle her out of the Riders Quadrant, and you're fine with that. But saving Violet's life, you're like, no, not okay.
Rules for thee, not for me.
I'm looking at when he says the well the fuck aware part. I guess when I read it at first, I read it in like a tone that's like, well the fuck aware that you would risk your life again.
Right.
But now when I read it, I notice, no, it's like an outburst. Like he loses his shit when he says that. And I just find it so interesting. He does, because I think it's a lot of why he does. One, it's like now he realizes he's in love with Violet, even though we don't technically know that yet, but it's obvious with his actions.
Yeah.
Two, not only like is it 107 kids that he's in charge of?
Mhm.
So it's like now with them bonded together, his life and their lives are kind of all affected if Violet's a reckless little son of a gun.
Oh, yeah. I guess I didn't think about how she's now tethered to the 106.
But Violet gets to hear finally that basically Dane really doesn't give a fuck about her. Or he does, but not in the way
Not
that
more
she
than the
deserves.
rules. Yeah.
Yes. And Violet is, rather than being like really pissed at Dane or like gutted by it, she's pissed that Xaden would put Dane in that position. And Xaden's like, well, I did it because you put way too much faith in him. And knowing who to trust is the only thing that will keep you alive, keep us alive. Not only the quadrant, but after graduation. Violet, there is no us. Oh, I think you'll find that's no longer the case.
Xaden's smart, painting the picture of this is more than just school. This is the rest of your life. While Dane thinks he's protecting Violet and wants to shelter her here and now, Xaden wants her to survive. And, his life depends on it, as well as, well, I guess we haven't really mentioned that in the book, just his scars. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of people's lives that depend on them because now the dragons.
And then Xaden brings up, like, really drives home the point that Dane already brought up, that the unbonded, you are enemy number one, target number one. They want Taryn. So be aware. And now multiple people's lives are affected if you die, Violet.
I mean, she's bonded to one of the strongest dragons on the continent, and that's 41 people. But she's just like, "Meh, it's another Wednesday for me."
And then she makes this stupid ass comment. And Taryn thinks you'll play bodyguard, I snort. Little does he know just how much you dislike me. Xaden, he knows exactly how much I value my own life. Our girl is slow. Okay? It's very obvious that Xaden has something for you, some type of feelings. He helps you all the time. And you're like, "Ugh, you're not going to save me," even though he does consistently.
They're mates of some sort, so he knew. I swear by it. They have a connection.
Oh, yeah, they're mates in some way, whether it's soulmate in like regular world sense or if it's a mated bond. Do you believe in soulmates?
I do.
You do. In like real life?
I do. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
do.
think I think some of my friends are my soulmates versus, you know.
Or like what they say in Sex and the City.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I think that your friends can be your soulmates. Maybe that's what and Violet are.
Yeah. But I mean, she's also soulmates with Xaden.
There's more than that. Like they
No,
are
yeah, their connection is just too.
they're sexy mates. It's fine. I have the flu. I'm an idiot.
So then Taryn and Darna show back up after their meeting, and she's like, Taryn goes, it is how it should be. You didn't answer before. Humans can't know what's being said within the Empyrean. It's a rule. Which that's a new word, Empyrean, for Violet, which I also find interesting. Like, is there just not, if someone that reads all the time, is that not a common term? Is that just what dragons call themselves?
I wonder if it can't be written because it's about the dragons, and
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
so maybe that's something that just can't go in books?
Yeah, that's possible. And they probably just, yeah, they know so little about dragons, obviously. Like, Kaori knows the most. He's got hard-ons for dragons, but you you can't know the inner workings of it.
Yeah, and how often do the dragons need to meet with the Imperium and tell the humans about it,
Probably not very often,
considering this is
or
the
like
first time
ever.
somebody has bonded 2 dragons, so
Yeah, probably not a very common thing. So then, stupid Melgren comes up and says that while tradition has shown us that there is one rider for every dragon, there has never been a case of 2 dragons selecting the same rider, and therefore there's no dragon law against it. And Violet's allowed to have both dragons.
he called her the Sorrengail girl.
I know.
Ugh,
She's a woman, you fucking fuck.
he's so gross. I just the way I picture him is just so slimy. He just looks so sleazy.
So I'm the type of person, unfortunately, that doesn't really picture things in my head
Just
when
stick
I'm reading.
people.
You stick people if I even do, or I'm just like, I get the vibe. But when I picture Melgren, okay, so in Greece, the they call him the pock mark face guy.
Yeah.
The I like picture that, like really greasy and like just a gross looking dude.
I'm glad that your imagination, like, actually worked for this one.
I picked one thing.
Just the sleaziest person to
We
possibly.
actually talked about this on Instagram today because some girl posted about it, about if you picture, do you picture things vividly, or
Oh, yeah, my imagination's absolutely wild.
I don't know why I don't, but like I said, like if somebody I see fan art, I'm like, "Oh, yes, that's exactly it," once I see it, even though I have never pictured it prior.
Do you picture yourself as, like, the female main character when you're reading?
No.
Oh, me neither.
You narcissist.
Yeah, why wouldn't you
I'm
just
just kidding.
she's got brown hair, you know,
You're
minus.
Temu Violet, you know?
Yeah, it's very Temu. If Temu had a Temu, that would be me.
Alibaba.
AliExpress, it's me.
So Violet gets her dragon tattoo. So the tattoo is interesting because it says it is Taryn flying, and then who's in the center?
And
Darna.
Darna.
Yeah, which I feel like as the books go on, her role, like right now, everyone talks about Taryn being this badass and he's the one that has all the power. I think as it goes on, we'll see that Andarna has just as much power, if not more.
She's the heart between the 2 of them because she's right in the middle.
Well, and it makes sense with kind of like Violet and her connection. It's so sweet. They're like sisters, you know?
She's the cute, fun little sister.
I know, I just love her. Anything she says, I'm like, oh, I love this. But I'm also the same with Taryn because he's just a grumpy little fuck.
He's so funny. He's just so sassy. I would get him as a dragon if I could
Oh,
make it.
me too. A girl's not going to pick me. It's definitely going to be a guy dragon.
And you're going to be the sassiest one of all the dragons.
I know my truth. So then, what happens, Kylie?
A lot
What
of
does
things.
Dane do?
He looks at her tattoo.
No, after that.
Oh. Dane kisses her. It's I feel like we have to read it. His thumb strokes over my cheek, his eyes searching for something, and then his mouth is on mine. His lips are soft, but the kiss is firm. Ew. And
Yeah.
delight races up my spine. After years, Dane is finally kissing me. The thrill is gone in less than a heartbeat. There's no heat, no energy, no sharp slice of lust. Disappointment sours the moment, but not for Dane. He's all smiles as he pulls away. It was over in an instant. It was everything I've ever wanted, except shit, I don't want it anymore. He would give me the ick too if he just shit on me the whole year.
And then now that she has 2 dragons and it's socially acceptable according to Malgren, now he's, like, kissing her?
Yet now that she survived, now that she's allowed her 2 dragons and didn't have to pick, and now it's almost like he kinda wants to piss on her because her dragon is bonded with Xaden's.
Right.
It's just I don't think he actually wanted it. I think he just wanted to mark his territory.
I just but I guess the good thing about this is that Violet now realizes that she doesn't want it anymore.
And he gives her the ick.
Gives the ick, just like how we feel about him. And she can move on and we can stop hearing her talk about him, even though we're all like, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never gonna happen. Nobody
He's
wants Daenados, okay?
After the wild ride that was Threshing and having Violet's dual bond approved by the Empyrean, Violet begins to adjust to her new reality, which is different from before. Violet, with her unique connection to 2 dragons, becomes a focal point of attention and envy. All social structures have changed now that people bonded with dragons. It's like you're allowed to be friends since you made it past Threshing.
So Violet tells our girl Ree about the kiss. Well, I
But
mean, after
Ree pointed it out.
yeah, after we see Sawyer walk out of Ree's room,
Love that for her. Why wouldn't you celebrate? You guys survived Threshing. Fuck it out.
fuck it out, man. Bad girl Riri getting it in. Love that for her.
Bad girl Riri. It's very fitting because I swear the girl's good at everything.
I know. God, I like her a lot.
She's just such a badass.
So then Violet has to tell Riri that because apparently a lot of people saw them kiss, which, yeah, was out in the open, Violet. I don't know why you're surprised. And Violet has to tell her, like, no, it's not what I wanted anymore. Which I'm sure, as like a best friend, when you hear your friend that she has this crush on this guy that you can't stand, you're like, thank fucking God.
So they're all heading to breakfast.
Yes.
They're all going to Denny's
So
after
they're
the
all getting brunch, little mimosies.
mimosas. I love that somebody bumps into her and they're like, sorry, Sorrengail. And it's like, oh, they're afraid of our poor fragile girl.
Oh, how the turntables, as Michael Scott would say.
And then she sees Jack Barlow being squeezed out of his table. He's forced to stand as others take his seat. What the hell's going on is what Rhiannon asks. And Jack moves to another table whose occupants won't make room for him. And then he finds a place 2 tables down. It's like, karma, bitch. You don't deserve to sit with the cool kids.
We hear Taylor Swift's Karma playing, as well as it's giving like Mean Girls cafeteria energy, and I'm
You
here
can't
for it.
sit with us.
Yes,
But
like
it's Gretchen Wieners yelling, not
yeah.
not at the beginning, but towards the end when they're yelling at Regina George because she's gained too much weight or she's wearing sweatpants
Which
3 days in a row.
maybe Jack is wearing sweatpants, and that's just a step too far.
Those joggers are so last season.
And we don't know. We talked about it. Jack may be a wellness girly, so he may
Maybe
have a nice little sweatsuit
he's
with
a
his
thrifting
family.
girly too, so he's, like, reusing. Anything th No, we're making him sound useful now. Jack Barlow
No,
doesn't deserve that.
no, he's an insufferable wellness girly.
So then you have Imogen telling him that the morning after threshing is always a clusterfuck. Power balance shifts, and you, little Sorrengail, are now about to be the most powerful rider in the quadrant. Anyone with common sense is going to be scared with you. Social groups have split up, and some of the cadets she would have considered threats are no longer sitting where they usually do. which is why you're now sitting with us. Rhiannon arches a brow at the second year because I can count on one hand the number of nice words you've said to any of us. She holds up a fist with zero fingers raised.
I love Rhiannon so much. But it probably is pretty jarring, like all of a sudden Imogen is being nice. They're like, what the fuck? You almost tried to tear up my arm off.
But now you can sit with us. But I mean, can you blame them when they expected a lot of people to die?
No, I mean, I get it. I would probably do that too.
Yeah, why be nice to somebody that's potentially going to die, especially Violet, who nobody was expecting to make it this far.
Right. And just especially Imogen, like obviously she doesn't like Violet because of her mother on top of it.
Right.
So why be nice to her? No, kill her instead. And now she won't
She
because
can't.
she's tied to her boy, Xaden.
I wish he was a real man.
I know. I love him. Oh, then our girl Violet spills the beans that he tried to kill Endarna. And everyone's like, oh shit, not allowed.
But Barlow bonded, Riddick questions. Though from what I heard, his orange scorpion tail's on the smaller side.
Like his pee-pee.
But okay, once again, furthering that there are some bad dragons aligned, because Bade's still bonded with Jack after he tried to kill Andarna. So there's definitely a bad movement in the Empyrean.
Well, Bade
About it.
probably, they're looking for bad people to join the cause, and he's the perfect guy for that.
He really is. Because fuck you, Jack Barlow.
Fuck, Jack. JB, you suck.
Violet, this whole time, she sees Orin. He's serving food. And so she skips it and opts for live fruit. Live fruit.
Live. Living with the land.
She opts for fruit because it's less likely to be poisoned. But, Imogen's trying to make her eat. And you have Taryn saying, you can trust her. And Violet's like, she hates me. Stop arguing with me and eat something. Like, Taryn is not going to take Violet's shit. And I love that for him because everybody else actually does take her shit.
And I'm glad because sometimes you just need a petty little best friend bee that will tell you like it is. Right, Kylie?
How are your nails, Blakely? Not ratchet. They look nice.
Thanks. They match my lips. See, look at.
But I do have my monthly calendar alert to check on how your nails are doing.
On my nails and on my hair.
Yeah. That's what.
You're such a good friend.
That's
making
what.
sure I'm not ugly.
You're welcome. Keeping you humble. So Imogen, a skilled rider and Xaden's ally, takes it upon herself to train Violet in physical combat and magic. The unexpected mentorship is a clear indication of Xaden's growing interest in Violet and his desire to protect her. They head out to the flight field for their first lesson, which they are the smallest class to date with 92 riders. So that leaves 41 unbonded with the ability to kill someone who is bonded while the bonds are the weakest that they will be. Their first task is to mount their dragon and get on the seat and fly. Lot of bonding.
A lot of bonding. And the unbonded want to bond, And they might take it from the bonded.
That was a sentence and a half.
So Violet, our girl's not the best writer.
Taryn has seen into her memories, and he saw how she got up the warp wall. So Taryn actually makes accommodation, which is wild because dragons never make accommodations for people. It's wild. He lowers his shoulder, and she can shimmy up without the knives.
One of my favorite parts in this book that just makes me giggle is we learn that there is a roar grunt that has the closest translation for humans for For fuck's sake. I just love, for fuck's sake, the dragon language has something in there.
Well,
God, I love Taryn.
poor Taryn just trying to keep girlfriend on her seat, and she just keeps slipping. And that's another thing. He doesn't let her die. He just snatches her up, throws her on his back. So once again, a dragon is making accommodations for a human. Weird.
Obviously, a good dragon, not one of those bad seeds.
Those bad boy dragons.
No, I was like, that makes it sound good, though.
We don't want Shadow Daddy dragon. No, I mean a Shadow Daddy dragon. No, I'm not into dragons, just to clarify. This is
I don't
going
know.
south real
It's
fast.
sounding like you might be.
No, I'm not into dragons.
I'm not into dragons, but if I were to fuck a dragon, it'd probably be Taryn.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll get behind that. I'll get behind that. Later that evening, after writing lessons, Dane catches up with Violet.
Heavy sigh. Collectively, everyone. Violet waits for that swell of happiness that she normally feels when she's alone with Dane. Instead, there's a sea of awkwardness. Dane is gorgeous and kind and a really, really good man. Is he, though? He's honorable and my very best friend. So why don't we have any chemistry? Gee, Violet, I wonder why.
Because Dane's the worst. Dane catches up to her to just be like, look, about last night. And Violet, the part where you told me Xaden would get me killed if I bonded Taryn, or the part where you kissed me. And Dane's like, the kiss. It should have never happened. And relief courses through Violet, because same, right? And he's like, it doesn't mean we're not friends. The best of friends.
Yes.
And not that I don't want you. I was like, what? What are you saying? Are our wires crossed? It's like, I'm saying the same thing you are. It's incredibly frowned upon to have a physical relationship with anyone in our chain of command. Okay, Dane. Okay, I'm sure.
Fucking square.
I'm sure
Okay.
it's the only reason you solely did it because Xaden was on the field and you wanted to piss on Violet.
And it proves to me in my head that Dane is not good in bed. Because he doesn't even realize that Violet's like not into it. Like in his head, he's like, oh, good for me.
He's gonna lay on his back and do nothing.
Starfish.
Dane is such an asshole who cannot make up his mind if he wants Violet or not. But regardless, he wants no one else to have her. Again, after the kiss, he friend zones her with saying it should have never happened. Violet is relieved, feels the same way, but then Dane leads in with the fucking rules. It's incredibly frowned upon to have a physical relationship with anyone. It's like, make up your mind. What do you?
He doesn't know what he wants, obviously. And I'm not. I'm done with it. I'm done with you, Dane.
All right.
You're over me? When were you under me? I was never liking Dane.
Chapter 18 starts with Violet heading to the archives as she is assigned archive duty. Here we meet her scribe friend Jacinia. They catch up and Jacinia asks if there's anything else she can grab for her. Violet asks for the fables of the Baron, but Jacinia isn't familiar with it and ends up being unable to find it.
So we learn quite a bit about this book.
Meeting Jacinia is cool because she is hearing impaired and she signs. And Violet, which also shows how good of a friend Violet is, she took the time to learn sign language so she could speak with her friend. I love that. It just makes her solid. And obviously we get to know Jacinia more later, but I love her introduction.
So Violet's asking for the fables of the Baron, and Jasinia's not, she has no idea what that is. And she goes, it's not for academics or anything, just a collection of folklore my dad shared with me, a little on the dark side, honestly, but I love it. Wyvern, venom, magic, the battles of good and evil. You know, the good stuff. If anyone understands her love of books, it's Jasinia, because little scribe, Ravenclaw, dorks. Only ultra rare or forbidden tomes are excluded. But why is this fable book either? Because she's realizing she's never seen any book like this before.
Why don't more people know about this book if it's a childhood fable book? It's weird, right?
It's weird. Da dun da.
So, and then we run into Professor Markham in the archives, considering he's a scribe.
So she also talks about in this book, she needs good folk tales of what happens when humans defile the power channeled to them. No doubt they were written as a parable to warn us of the dangers of bonding dragons. But in Navarre's 600-year history of unification, I've never read a single writer losing their soul to the powers. The dragons keep us from that. Just because you haven't read something, Violet, doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
I mean, she didn't know the word Empyrean.
It's true. Like, there's a lot that she still obviously does not know or nobody knows, and that's obviously intentional. Then we see the evil man himself. Go ahead.
Well, in the archives, Violet sees Professor Markham, and he reminds all the students with him, as well as Violet, that she was supposed to be his prize student until the Writers' Quadrant stole her away, pointing out that she has bonded to not one, but two dragons. And it's like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to remind that she was supposed to be your pupil?
I don't know. It's icky too. You're with a bunch of other students and you're saying that. I don't know. It's weird.
I bet you Markham's besties with Melgren.
Totally.
They definitely go to Denny's together.
I was going to say spend holidays together, but yes, Denny's is where they go.
I don't know why I keep saying Denny's, and that's where because I guess in my late high school years.
I did go to Denny's a lot, but I was a
Yeah.
theater kid. What we did after every show.
Well, I was an emo kid, and we just went every Friday to drink
Yeah.
cappuccinos and smoke cigarettes inside because we were so cool.
Kylie, what was your AIM username?
No. Which one? Because there was Eat by Love Incubus, and then I also had Emo Music Rocks. I try not to mention that one for obvious reasons. I don't think you realize the shock on your face because I don't think you're expecting it.
I didn't know about that one. I only knew the other one.
You're welcome for that little tidbit about me.
So would you, for your away message, you put up like
Lyrics.
emo lyrics?
Mhm. Always lyrics. Passive aggressive lyrics about either
That
a
doesn't sound
boy.
good at all.
No, not at all. But then I tried to be way cool and I tried to stop using AOL Instant Messenger and only used MSN.
No, AIM was way better.
But then if I was on MSN, I was like unreachable.
You're so stupid. Okay, let's. You're so contrarian about things sometimes. Oh, that's popular? I'm not going to do it. Especially back then. Little emo Kylie.
Little hipster emo Kylie.
And then weirdly enough, I'm the one who works at Zoomies.
I
The
know.
most basic preppy bitch there's ever been.
You could have worked at like a Hollister or.
That's what they used to tell me all the time. They're like, Blakely, why don't you should be at Abercrombie and Fitch, bitch. And I'm like, yeah, probably.
Well, good thing you randomly chose to apply to Zoomies and got the job.
You know how I got the job, right?
Were you? No.
It was this huge interview with like 40 of us.
Oh, yeah, the group.
And then I danced to Michael Jackson, Beat It.
Of course you did. Of course.
And I got the job, which, by the way, was one of my AIM Instant Messenger names, Miss Jackson 11, which just want to point out that was before allegations had come out. So, yeah, back to the archives.
So Professor Markham asks Violet to explain something to one of the cadets who was griping that there's not nearly enough fresh air in there. And he said that this group is just starting their rotation in the archives. Violet explains that it's part of the fire mitigation system, less air, less risk of our history burning to the ground. And the stuffy hoods make it harder for you to stand out against the tome, a symbol that no one and nothing is more important than the documents and books in this very room. Interesting.
Foreshadow. Something's going to happen to those archives, right?
I have no idea. I've never read this book before.
I meant like in the like something big later on.
So Violet stares for a second and thinks, our archives have either a copy or the original of almost every book in Navarre. Only ultra rare or forbidden tomes are excluded. When did folklore become either of those? Though, come to think of it, I never came across anything like the Fable of the Baron on the shelves while I was studying to become a scribe. Chimera, yes. Kraken, sure. But wyvern or venom that create them? None. And so she thanks Jacinia for looking, but I think it's weird that she's never come across anything. I think
All right, Kylie, let's do it. What's your theory?
I think that Violet's dad, I think he wrote the Fables of the Bear. I think he wrote it because he is a scribe and it was his duty to record history. History. Maybe he called it Fables of the Baron in order to warn his children in advance because obviously we don't know his name. We don't know the author of Fables of the Baron. I think he wrote it. I think he was part of it because it's his job to write history.
And my response to you when you said this is, Kylie, you are a genius. And we already decided, now that I said that, you're going to record it and you're going to split it up, and that's going to be your ringtone. Words of
And
affirmation, girly.
I don't need my therapist anymore. I've graduated. I'm just going to have that on repeat when I'm feeling a little rough. You saying that I'm a genius.
Glad I could help.
Thanks. So then we start learning more about signets since they're starting to channel them. First up, we have Sawyer, who can manipulate metal.
It's good for Sawyer. You know, he didn't bond last year, but he's the first one to get his signet.
Do you think the dragons just knew he needed another year because he needed to meet Violet?
Yes, I think he's going to be integral to her story.
Dragons don't make mistakes.
They don't make mistakes. So maybe it just, that dragon wasn't ready for him yet.
So we learn that they'll manifest when their dragon is ready to trust you with all that power. Violet's got a lot of power behind that
Yeah,
dragon.
she got 2 dragons.
But we also learned, thanks to Quinn, that if you don't manifest, it'll consume you and you go boom. Making explosion. She kept making explosion sounds. I love her description. I probably would have been the same way, just instilling fear into them, like manifest or gonna die.
Or boom, manifest or die. Hey, manifest. Maybe Quinn's also a wellness girly with a vision board.
Maybe that's part. They have a whole class on manifestation and just vision boarding. So during flying lessons later, it's just Taryn and Noah and Darna. But after the lesson, Dane meets up with Violet and loses his shit basically at her because she cannot keep her seat. He's upset she isn't sharing with him, and even more upset for some reason that Imogen is training her. He's their squad leader, so he has that right to be upset with her. But he's pissed because she didn't tell him specifically, and he heard it through the grapevine or saw it, whichever. He fucking sucks.
And even Taryn thinks he sucks.
Taryn, not a fan. Taryn growls at him all the time and makes
No,
him say things to her, or makes her say things to him, and she'll try to, whatchamacallit, sum it up, and Taryn's like, no, say exactly what I said.
I just like to tell him, or I'll take it up with Kath. Which I wonder, is Kath a good dragon or a bad dragon? Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
I think he's a bad witch.
I think so. I think it's possible. Or maybe he's on the fence, like Dane. Or Kath's a girl, so.
And we still don't know why Taryn is calling her Silver One. She's like, you could eventually call me Violet, you know? He's like, I can call you Violence like the wing leader. You wouldn't.
You wouldn't dare. So back to Dane, the bane of our existence, just getting all pissy about her not keeping her seat. And I know you enjoy this part the most, so go ahead.
So Dane, freaking out, why didn't you tell me you can't keep your fucking seat? And she shouts back, she being Violet. All this time, I've been letting Kaori teach you, thinking he must have everything under control. And after all, if the rider of the strongest dragon in the quadrant couldn't keep her seat, then surely we'd all know. Surely I would know if my best friend fell every fucking day that she flew. And Violet's like, it's not a secret. Everyone in our wing knows. I'm sorry if you haven't been keeping tabs on your squad, but trust me, Dane, everyone knows. And I'm not going to stand here while you lecture me like a child. And then she walks off. I love that she puts him in his place. He follows her because Dane's an asshole. Like, just let her be pissed.
Nope. He's got to follow her.
You've been flying for over a month and you're still following? She's like, so is half the wing, Dane. I just want to help you. How can I help?
I just think Dane's pissed that he got friend zoned and it wasn't on his terms like he thought.
Dane's a dick.
Hmm. He just definitely can sense that shift post kiss, and he does not like it because that boy loved being on the pedestal that Violet put him on.
Well, he also likes calling the shots. He wants everything to be his decision to friend zone her, not hers. And it's just, he's
He
gross.
has control issues for sure,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it makes sense of his control issues because he's clearly probably has some daddy issues with his dad being so high up, and he like wants to impress his dad. And then, he was a military brat. He was moving all the time. Like, he wants to control what he can control, which I understand, but like, do it in a less annoying way. Thanks.
Well, Dane, being the asshole that he is, thinks that, Xaden doesn't have her best interests at heart. And he thinks first it was bending the rules to make it up the gauntlet. And yes, Amber lit into me for an hour about how you acted dishonorably. And Violet's like, dishonorably? Fuck this. And you just took her word for it without asking me what happened. She's a wing leader, Vi. I'm not about to question her integrity. But you'll question your best friend?
And you have no problem questioning Xaden's integrity, but go on,
Who's a wing
Dane.
leader? Like,
You fuck.
he's so
And
gross.
and then Violet does what you and I both love, using somebody's words against them.
She says, this place cuts away the bullshit and the niceties, revealing whoever you are at your core. Repeating his words from this summer. Isn't that what you said to me? Is this who you really are at your core? Someone who's so enamored with rules that he doesn't know when to bend or break them for someone he cares about. Someone so focused on the least I'm capable of doing. He can't believe I can do so much more. Good for you, girlfriend. Keep putting him in his place. And then she's like, let's get one thing straight, Dane. The reason we'll never be anything more than friends isn't because of your rules. It's because you have no faith in me. Even now, when I've survived against all odds and bonded not to just one dragon, but two, you still think I won't make it. So forgive me, but you're about to be some of the bullshit this place cuts away from me. And she moves aside and marches past him, sees Xaden and just flips him off and keeps going. Like, fuck
Just
this
for the
guy
fuck of it,
too.
It's a fuck you situation. You're cool, but fuck you again.
So right after this heated argument, they're screaming, and it's an Intrinsic who just channeled their signet. An Intrinsic can read minds and is a death sentence. Violet begs Xaden to do something. He tells Violet to start mentally reciting whatever bookish shit you've learned if she values her secrets, which includes Xaden's too. So he definitely is inclined to protect her in this moment. The Intrinsic is sharing Dane's thoughts and then starts on Garrick's when a professor snaps his neck. The Intrinsic, not Garrick's. And that is how we meet Professor Carr. What a terrifying introduction to your
A
professor.
character. And don't like him. Don't like.
No, not at all.
Instantly, I was like, no. Instantly, no. But Xaden showing up for Violet, obviously she has secrets of his that he wants her to keep, but he is always saving the day, this man. I love him.
He's always there to help her.
Mm.
Xaden, you're such a great man. And fuck Dane for thinking anything other.
And then we move into a wild night for our girl Violet, but not in a fun way.
Later, while Violet is asleep, she is attacked in her room by a group of unbonded riders, including Orin.
Puckhorn.
The attack is a clear attempt to harm her, won't kill her, and potentially claim one of her dragons. Fortunately, Violet manages to fend off her attackers with the help of her signet magic and the timely intervention of Xaden.
So, it is interesting what her dream is at the time of this attack. You always have to check your sources, Dad tells me, ruffling my hair as he stands beside me at the table in the archives. Remember that first-hand accounts are always more accurate, like the fables of Baron. But you have to look deeper, Violet. You have to see who is telling the story. And Violet says back in her dream, what if I want to be a writer? Like Brennan and Mom. A, a loud wake sound. I'm not going to yell it because I can't do it.
Thank you.
Wake!
Just like that. That's how she heard it.
Wake! Taryn's like, whoa. You're not like them, Violet. That's not your path. Dad offers me an apologetic smile, the usual kind that says he sympathizes, but there's nothing he can do. The kind he gives me when Mom makes a choice he doesn't agree with. And it's for the best. Your mother has never understood that while writers may be the weapons of our kingdom, it's the scribes who have all the real power in this world. And then, wake before you die. Then the bookshelves in the archives tremble and her heart jolts. No! And then Taryn's telling her to move. And then we hear, fuck, she's awake. And Taryn is like, he's almost there. Violet, the slow girl that we love. Who? Then she hears my bedroom door flies open, the wood splintering as it slams against the stone wall. But I don't have a chance to turn to see who's standing there before a shriek pierces my vision. Line! And Darna screams. Skin prickling energy zings down my spine, then rushes to my fingertips and toes. And the next breath I take is total and complete silence. Go! And Darna demands. I blink and realize the first year in front of me doesn't. She isn't breathing. She isn't moving. No one is. Everyone in this room is frozen in place except me.
Holy shit, Andarna can stop time.
Damn.
What a dramatic way to end a chapter. Every chapter is ended so dramatically.
That's how she ends her books, too.
So after realizing Andarna can stop time, Violet makes her escape when Xaden shows up to save Violet. He uses his shadow magic to subdue the attackers, killing Orin in a brutal act of self-defense.
Xaden fills the doorway like some kind of dark avenging angel, the messenger of the Queen of Gods. He's fully dressed, his face a mask of veritable rage as shadow curls from the walls on either side of him, hanging in midair. For the first time since crossing the parapet, I'm so fucking relieved to see him that I could cry. And he goes, "You're all fucking dead, bitch."
I love that they had to play telephone to get there. No. Violet's mind to Tarn to Sorrengail to tell Xaden so that way he could get over there, but just
and then throw and I mean Indarna already knows, but just there's a lot of people involved in this situation.
A lot of movement to save her while Xaden is standing over Orin, ready to kill him. He says dragons don't make mistakes, and I think that's a big deal. Because they chose Violet for a reason, and they're not going to choose you, Orin, because you tried to kill a dragon.
And your name's ugly.
I think of Orin from Parks and Rec.
Yes, I do too.
And that's just every time I've read his name, I just picture this creep just standing there quietly.
Like maybe a serial killer, unclear.
Yeah, that's exactly what I picture when it comes to Orin. So good thing he died. It was getting weird.
Then Garrick shows up and he's like, "Damn, Xaden," because, everyone's dead. Like, no time for questioning, no need for it.
And then you have Violet, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, repeating the mantra in her head as Xaden wipes blood from her dagger. And he's like, "Yes, you're alive." And she's like, "I didn't realize that I said that out loud."
Hmm.
Hmm.
Weird.
Weird.
Hmm.
So Xaden's protective instincts are clear, and his actions highlighting the deepening bond between him and Violet. I think it's so sweet that he checks her over. I mean, he kind of has to.
He has to. He's like very concerned.
She's like, "I can barely breathe, but can I risk admitting my current weakness to him? His fingers are warm under my chin as he tilts my head up so our gazes collide." Wait, is that a hint of panic swirling in his? He's like, "You're breathing like crap, so I'm guessing it has to do with," and she finishes, "my ribs."
I just like that she's like, "Ah, can I admit my weakness to him? He just fucking saved you, dumbass."
Like,
Like, yes.
bitch, you have no other option.
I know.
Violet thinks that her ribs are bruised, and Xaden's like, "Unless it has to do with why you sleep in your leather vest." Taryn tells her, "Trust him." And she's like, "It's not that easy, but it has to be for now." So Violet tells him that it's dragon scale, and she lifts her right arm so he can see the gaping hole in her nightdress. And then, "Mira made it for me. That's why I've lived for so long."
And his response was like, I think there's a lot of reasons why he lived for so long. Like one, he's saving her all the time. And two, he thinks that she's brilliant and strong and he loves her and I love it.
Who loves her, but he doesn't know it.
I think he knows it at this point.
But yeah, he does, but refuses
He
to
knows
admit it.
it.
He's fighting his
Violet
feelings.
doesn't know anything.
No, girl's dense
That
as
girl's
fuck.
so slow.
He's helping you. He has been helping you this whole time. At this point, your dragons are bonded. Trust him. I love how he's like, "How do you get into this every morning?" I, what a nice thing to tell him. "I'm freakishly flexible."
And poor Xaden. No man can hear I'm freakishly flexible and not think of one thing. Xaden just killed a bunch of people. Now he's got blue balls. It's just like
This poor man, how does he do it all?
he's a multitasker.
I love that he kneels before her. She's like, "My eyes widen. Xaden Riorson is kneeling before me, his black hair at the perfect level for me to run my fingers through the thickness. It's probably the only thing that's soft about him." How
Not
many
his dick.
how many women have felt those strands between their fingers? Why the hell do I care? Ooh, the sexual tension, it's heating up. That pot just got put on the stove.
It's heating up.
Xaden takes her to a secluded location outside of Basgiath to speak with their dragons. There, Xaden questions Taryn about the nature of their telepathic connection, revealing a growing curiosity and concern about the limits of their power. While they're walking there, sure, because a giant black cloud moving down the hallway isn't going to look more suspicious than a couple sneaking around. He shoots me a look that keeps me from countering. Not that I wouldn't climb that man like a tree if presented with the right set of circumstances. Girl, same.
I love that she said that because I use that phrase a lot. Climbing that man like a tree. I'm looking at you, Travis Kelsey.
In case he listens to this podcast.
New Heights is going to be listening to this. They're like, fourth wing.
Spicy. She's finally admitting to herself that she would do what we would all do to Xaden. We would all climb that man like a tree. All of us.
Multiple times. And I'm afraid of heights. So
I don't blame you. What are you gonna do? Just climb and sit on his shoulders? Wee!
I mean,
I'm just picturing you, the shitty Photoshop where you're on Ryan's shoulders. You and Xaden.
that's going to be my next Photoshop now. Me on Xaden's shoulders. Look out for that.
I can't wait for that one. So they go to ask Taryn, what the hell just happened? How did they get past the locks? We better figure it out so it doesn't happen again.
And Xaden's like, we need to know what happened. And Taryn's response, do not dare to try and read me, human, or you'll regret it. That's interesting. It must be because of the bond between them.
I mean, they can mind speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's exactly it.
That's it. And then Xaden's like, we are chained, tethered together, Violet. You die, I die. So I damn well deserve to know how the hell you were under Orin's knife 1 second, across the room in another. Is that signet power you've manifested with Taryn? Come clean now. I don't know what happened. Violet answers honestly. She loves to be truthful. Interesting as well. Nature likes all things in balance, and Darna says, like she's reciting facts, just like I do when I'm nervous. That's the first thing we're taught. What's that supposed to mean? Well, not the first thing. The first thing is we shouldn't bond until we're full grown. Or maybe the first is where the sheep are. I like goats better. I just love her.
It's a little ADHD child.
I can totally relate. I get it.
You are Andarna.
No, she's
Honestly,
too sweet.
if Andarna and Taryn made a baby, obviously they treat Andarna like their baby, but if they made a baby, it would be you. Like the sassy ADHD. It's you.
Thanks. Feathertail shouldn't bond because they can accidentally gift their powers to humans. Dragons can't channel, not really, until we're big, but we're all born with something special. Like a signet? I ask out loud so Xaden can hear. No. A signet is a combination of our power with your own ability to channel. It reflects who you are at the core of your being. And Adarna's like, but I gave my gift directly to you because I'm a Feathertail. And then, what's next?
So we learn, that Andarna is a baby.
She's a little baby.
She'll be full grown in a year or two, but some are slower than others. And if I thought she'd actually bond, I would have objected harder to her right of benefaction. And then Violet's like, hold on, is Andarna yours? Don't be ridiculous. Gale blows out a blast of air. Do you think I'd let my offspring bond while still feathered? Her parents passed before hatching. And then, Violet's heart sinks. And Darna's like, I have a lot of elders that make up for it. But then Darna's like, that's why I chose you. But if leadership knew riders could take their gifts for themselves rather than depending on their own signets, Xaden says, she'd be hunted. Violet finishes quietly, which is why you can't tell anyone what she is, Sigale says. Hopefully she'll mature once you're out of the quadrant, and the elders are already placing more stringent protections on the Feathertails.
So she's little.
Feathertails are so rare, no one realized that she was a baby. How would you know? Because they're rarely seen outside of the veil. So Xaden finds out, that Andarna can stop time. Andarna says, and now we can stop time. She blinks slowly. And if I use too much, I can kill you. And Darna says, kill us. She stands on all four paws. But I know you won't. I'll do my best to be worthy. The ramifications of this gift, this exceptional power, hit Violet like a death blow. Is Professor Carr going to kill me too? I mean, which is totally fair to worry about. She watched him snap somebody's neck.
And Zane's like, no. Nobody's going to find out. It has to stay in our little circle of trust.
Which is now 5. I mean, it's a pentagon of trust.
Yeah.
Promise me you won't tell anyone about time stopping. It's not for your safety. Rare abilities, when kept secret, are the most valuable form of currency we possess. And then we end the chapter with Xaden promising to keep Andarna and Violet's secret. And I mean, if he doesn't, that means they'll be hunted and everyone dies in the end.
And Xaden was like, someone who ran away before you arrived. She must have unlocked it from the outside. Who? Now tell me who. We find out in the next chapter, guys. Don't worry. Stay tuned.
The aftermath of the attack on Violet unfolds. Xaden, determined to protect her, assigns Liam Mari, oh Liam, I fucking love you, as her bodyguard, and Violet is pissed. I would not be pissed because Liam's the fucking best. The absolute
Liam's
best.
the fucking delight. Yeah, he is adorable.
He's a delight, an absolute delight.
He is.
You're not wrong. No, he's so wonderful.
And Violet realizes, oh shit, this feeling right here, the way my breath catches and my entire body draws tight when he's near, it's why I haven't taken anyone else to bed or celebrated like the rest of my perfectly normal friends. This feeling is why I haven't wanted anyone else, because I only want him. Oh,
Oh, Violet.
but like, duh.
This is why you didn't like Dane kissing you.
Yuck. He does.
So Xaden didn't say a single thing to Violet after she told him who unlocked the door.
Which is interesting.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Then the next morning shows up with Liam, bodyguard, and Violet's just fucking pissed. I do not need a bodyguard. And Imogen's like, good luck with that approach. And she goes, you are overstepping. And let me just say, the next line I love so much, which is weird because I don't like people controlling me. But his response is, you haven't even begun to see overstepping. I want to see him overstep. Can I volunteer as tribute?
Overstep me all you want while I'm laying on your
All day
bed.
long, please. Please. And Dane's watching it, just piss. Fucking mated dragons. Ugh, Dane, the bane of my existence.
So while they're out in formation, Xaden publicly accuses wing leader Amber Mavis of orchestrating the attack. Dane, of course, does not believe Violet. He's actually begging her to stop this. This part, this happens so much, but this part really pisses me off because like Dane's the worst. So all this is happening and Dane's just being a butthole. And Xaden's like, I call you to answer for your crime against Cadet Sorrengail, wing leader Amber Mavis. And Dane's like, what the hell? Xaden didn't even question Violet. He just immediately believed her. And this is the guy Violet had such a hard time realizing, like, you know, he's not going to kill her. He believed her with no doubt. And I love that. Dane protecting Amber, of course. Amber would never, a wing leader would never get up there and tell everyone that he's lying, Vi. And Violet's like, but he's not. And Dane's like, it's impossible. And Violet, I was there, Dane. And the reality of his disbelief hurts so much more than I expected, like a blow to my already battered ribs. Wing leaders are beyond reproach. Then why are you so quick to call our own wing leader a liar? My brow rises in a challenge, daring him to say what he's so careful to keep quiet. And Dane just wants Violet to stop this. Like, why wouldn't you believe your best friend?
Best friend.
And then he goes straight to her and is like, let me see, and goes to touch her. And Violet stumbles backwards.
The fucker was trying to read her memories without even asking.
Do you need consent, buddy?
Entitled fuck.
And so
Then
yeah.
Sawyer's like, shit's about to get real. Then the boys, Riddick, Sawyer, they all walk and like go right next to Violet, which I think is a huge move because Dane is their squad leader. And they're like, no, we got her back. Fuck you, guy. And I'm here for it.
I love that they're protecting her and that their loyalty is to Violet, not Dane.
No.
But they also have watched this entire time Dane just be a fuckwit. A fuckwit.
A fuckwit. Or fuck. Were you going to fuck wad or what were you trying to say?
I don't know. It just flowed through me.
You fuckwit.
So Dane's like, you can stop all this now, Violet. You have to. I don't know what you saw last night, but it wasn't Amber. She cares too much about the rules to break them. Not everyone's you, Dane. You're using this to get your revenge on my family. Amber shouts at Xaden for not supporting your father's rebellion, which is a fucking low blow. But why would Violet trust Dane with her memory? He wouldn't even be honest. He would protect Amber because it's the rules.
But
Thank God for being able to share a memory, which is unorthodox, but it's the only way to get everyone to believe her. This unprecedented act of sharing memories is typically reserved for mating bonds.
can you imagine like the energy in that room when all of a sudden they're dragons get the memory and it's obviously being passed to everyone and they're seeing it happen. Like,
How can anybody trust Dane from this point on? After that, he didn't believe Violet. He tried to get her to stop all this. And as a squad leader, how can literally any of them trust him after this? It doesn't make any sense. Like, obviously they have to, but how can they?
yeah, your squad leader should have your back. And this man wants to be wing leader next year.
And, Dane pales after seeing it. And Violet, believe me now, she hurls it like an accusation. You're supposed to be my oldest friend, Dane, my best friend. There's a reason I didn't tell you. She had every right to not trust him. He hasn't had faith in her once. And I can't believe she still calls him her best friend when he doesn't support her. He doesn't support women.
That, he's not a women supporter. You do not support women. Sorry, Ramona.
So everyone sees what a piece of shit Amber is, and she is claiming that she was trying to rid the quadrant of the weakest rider, but by law, she was sentenced to death by fire. Violet tried to show compassion and asked if there was any way to handle this, but Taryn reminds her that they let someone live, which is how they got her. He tells her justice is not always merciful, and then we wrap up the chapter with Taryn torching Amber.
Gotta let it burn, as Usher says.
Why do they still support Dane after all of this? Which I have seen theories that Dane is being mind controlled by his dad.
I have seen that as well. And I think it's plausible. It's a plausible theory.
It's definitely plausible. I definitely think it is something that could be happening since I dropped my ring
It's
light.
I just, I understand that Dane has been a bestie of Violet's for so long, but it is hard to watch her. I know it's moving along. She's starting to not trust him as much anymore. But like, girl, he constantly shits on you.
Left and right. I don't understand. I mean, I would keep contact just so minimal. I wouldn't even give him the time of day to have a conversation with me. He doesn't deserve that. He hasn't supported
Kylie,
her.
you and I are so prone to cutting people off though, since not everyone's like us.
It's all these like second and third and fourth and fifth, sixth chances. Like,
Well, and then just she doesn't even like he doesn't even treat her well on a day-to-day basis, not even like when big shit happens.
no,
So I'm
he
just like,
didn't know she wasn't keeping her seat. He was pissed that she didn't tell him. Well, if you're a better squad leader, then maybe she would. Maybe she would.
so basically in chapter 16 through 20, we learn that we do not like Dane.
And he's a fuckwit.
It's new information. Yeah. We learn that we want to climb Xaden like a tree. And yeah,
And that Taryn is a sassy dragon.
as well as you had your theory
Yes.
about the Fables of Baron, which I think we will be revisiting for the next couple of books.
Yes. And I think in the next episode I have more supporting information.
You do have more supporting information. I was reviewing it and I was like, this is going to make her happy.
It's gonna make her happy, her own notes.
Oh, no, I have it in mind too. Like when I was highlighting, I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I'm so excited. I feel like this bulk of chapters is, it's full of a lot of information, but 21 and up is like where it gets really hard to put the book down and we have so much to dissect.
Well, I think that Rebecca is similar in like Sarah J. Maas, where it's like the last 200 pages or 150 pages is just fucking madness.
Balls to the
And
wall.
we got a lot going on
Yeah.
coming up. So stay tuned. Share with your friends. Come hang out with us idiots again for chapters 21 through 25.
Thanks for tolerating my sexy sick voice.
I barely tolerated it, so I'm glad that they
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having as much fun as we are.
If you like this, please make sure and share with your other book besties. And we'll see you in Basgiath.